For this comparative study, I'll be looking at these two films, A Silent Voice, directed by Naoki Yamada, and Inside Out, directed by Pete Docter. The film focus that I've chosen for these movies are the animation genre, as these are both animated movies. The cultural context I'll be going over throughout this study is going to be social context, mainly the topic of mental health. Overall, both films take a heavy focus on mental health, but take much different but also sometimes similar ways of doing so. First is the tone of the movie, which is expressed through the use of mise-en-scène. After that is the sound of the movie. Both films make use of diegetic and non-diegetic sounds to affect the film's meaning. And finally, both of these films tackle different aspects of mental health, which is shown through the use of cinematography. Before I get started, I'll very quickly summarize the two movies. Inside Out is a movie about a girl named Riley who's moving away to a different state. The movie is actually about her emotions instead of Riley herself. A Silent Voice is a film about a boy named Ishida, and a story about how he bullied a girl named Shoko, and how his life went in a downward spiral afterwards, and how he fixed that. Firstly are the tones of the movies. Both films are drastically different in their tones. A Silent Voice is an anime drama which doesn't hesitate to go into serious topics, whereas Inside Out is a family-friendly Pixar movie. Though it does explore serious tones, it does so in a much more toned-down way. One of the ways this is shown is the coloring of these films. For example, Inside Out is filled to the brim with bright colors. The emotions themselves are also expressed through bright colors, such as red, yellow, blue, etc. This keeps the tone of the film as happy and as enjoyable as possible. This is especially shown through how the movie portrays a person's mind. All over it seems very magical, very bright, and whatnot. As Zach writes in his blog while he goes over the meaning of Joy's color, yellow, one of the most vibrant colors on the spectrum, yellow, is generally used on traffic signs as it grabs people's attention. It is also used to express happiness, jolliness, optimism, comfort, hope, care, cowardice, and warmth. It is, after all, the color of the sun. This is shown right from the beginning of the film. As Riley's emotions start coming to existence, we are already given bright colors which are used to symbolize them. Joy is shown through, as previously mentioned, yellow, sadness is shown through a deep blue, and the rest are also shown in bright colors. Throughout the film, we are shown more and more extravagant representations of a person's mind, which are all followed with bright colors and distant colors. The entire landscape of a person's mind is completely filled with color, except the void. We'll come back to that one in just a second. Moving on to A Silent Voice, unlike Inside Out, this film keeps its color palette much more toned down and somber to an extent. While Inside Out has bright, outstanding colors, A Silent Voice feels much more natural, which helps extend out its serious tone. Even when brighter colors are used, they feel very dark. For example, in the scene where Nishimiya attempts to commit suicide, while she prepares to jump off, there are bright fireworks shooting off in the background. Pairing a beautiful sight of a fireworks show with a suicide attempt is done to show the beauty of life and the wrong decision of suicide. An article on WordPress supports this idea. It states, using them as the backdrop for both Shoya and Choko's respective attempted suicides adds an extra layer of ephemerality. All of life is ephemeral. The fireworks seem to say, it would be a shame if either Shoko or Shoya's moments ended so soon. The aforementioned void in Inside Out is the darkest the movie's colors get throughout the film. After Joy and Bing Bong falling into the void, we are met with a stark contrast in color compared to the rest of the film, which shows just how big the issue that they have fallen into is. A Silent Voice also has its share of bright colors. For example, the final scene. As Ishida comes to terms with his issues, we are given a montage of all his friends, which is also accompanied by bright and joyful colors, which helps set the mood of the movie into a more peaceful tone and shows Ishida's improvements. Secondly is the sound of the movie. Throughout both of the films, there's a distinct difference in the way that they use music. Inside Out, for example, is a largely upbeat and energetic OST choice throughout all of the film. However, there's also a good portion of sad or hopeful music, which both are much more relaxed. The music choice in this film is used to reflect Riley's mood, whether it is during a scene where she is being shown or a scene where her emotions are being shown. The film also jumps from one mood to another through its music choice in certain scenes. An example of this can be seen in the scene where Joy and Bing Bong are attempting to escape the void using Bing Bong's cart. Throughout this entire scene, there are three specific emotions of music that are displayed to the viewers. The scene starts with exhilarating or hopeful music. An upbeat mood is set to get the viewers to feel motivated for the characters. The music continues to get happier, right until Bing Bong jumps off. After he does, the music takes a complete 180 turn, and after Joy realizes Bing Bong didn't make it, the music completely nosedives into sadness. This use of music choice to jump between emotions is a way for the film to express how people can go through lots of emotions in a few moments, or a roller coaster of emotions, if you will. The scene leaves us with a message, which I think cinematherapy puts down really well. There are some things we have to leave behind in order to grow. A Silent Voice's music choice is much different from Inside Out. While Inside Out chooses to use mostly energetic music choices, A Silent Voice makes use of a much calmer set of soundtracks to go along with the film. The happier moments of this film also use calm, peaceful music, as opposed to Inside Out's hyper music. One of the ways this contrast is visible is from both of the movie's final sequences. After Riley comes to terms with her changes in the end, we get a sequence of happy moments followed by happy music, which is of course your usual kids movie happy ending. Whereas in A Silent Voice's final scene, Ishida's development, as you can finally see everyone's faces, isn't paired with happy music. Rather, it is paired with peaceful and even melancholic music to an extent. A Silent Voice doesn't end up with a solution to depression, but rather, it ends with Ishida simply making progress, which is how depression really is. The director of the film, Naoko Yamada, explains this beautifully. It is my understanding that this film is not meant to judge the actions of his past, but it is rather a story of him and his surrounding characters, practicing how to survive in this world around them. A Silent Voice also, unlike Inside Out, makes use of silence to emphasize moments as well. For example, in the scene where Nishimiya's mother slaps Ishida, there's no music at all, not even sad music. All there is just the sound of the slap, which shows the depressive situation that Ishida is in. Finally, both films portray different forms of mental health issues. Firstly, Inside Out deals with change. The beginnings of the movie depict Riley's happy life. Within those scenes are bright colors, happy music, and it's overall just really nice. However, after Riley moves, the settings completely change. While her old home was bright and happy, her new home is dead and dirty. The colors of the new home are darkened out instead of showing a nice color that her old home had. The music becomes depressing and the overall tone is just sad. In the happy scenes where there are many close-ups given of Riley showing off her smile, this is in contrast to the close-ups we get of her saddened face in the new home. The cinematographer of this film, Patrick Lynn, also stated, in Act 2, when Riley arrives in San Francisco, her world becomes smaller and smaller. A Silent Voice, on the other hand, takes perspective on depression. In the scene where Ishida is called out within his third-year class regarding how Nishimiya is being bullied by him, a variety of camera angles are shown within this scene. Close-ups of his shocked face are shown. After that, a wide shot of the classroom is shown. The wide shot emphasizes the fact that he is starting to be singled out by everyone, which would be the catalyst to his depression. After he tries to call out a girl in his classroom for also bullying Nishimiya, the girl starts crying, and the film switches between close-up shots of their classmates' faces of disgust at Ishida. Both of these films do have similarities between them. For example, the portrayal of loneliness. In the scene where Riley is doing her introduction for the first day of class, the scene begins with a wide shot of the entire room, which makes Riley look small and insignificant. And as she starts to talk about her interests, the camera angle switches to a close-up, as Riley has pushed away that feeling of loneliness and focuses on her happy moments. However, as those memories make her sad, the close-up shots become wider shots, once again showing Riley's insignificance. This scene is directly comparable to the scene where Ishida enters his classroom in high school. As he walks through the classroom, we are given an eye-level shot of Ishida as he walks past everyone, whose faces are all marked with X's. The most prominent symbol in the movie is the X over the faces of Shoya's peers. The meaning here is obvious. It serves as a visual representation of Shoya's social inhibition and apparent disconnectedness from his world. We then see Ishida covering his ears to blend out the feeling of loneliness he has. After he sits down, similar to Inside Out, we are given wide shots to portray Ishida's loneliness and insignificance in the class. We are also given the first-person shots of Ishida, where all he can see is crosses on people's faces, once again showing that he can't even see people properly. In the end, both A Silent Voice and Inside Out portray the theme of mental health very well. Both films take their own path to portraying the issues of mental health. Both films have had a massive effect since coming out. Inside Out has won awards such as the Golden Globe Award for Best Animated Film and the Academy Award for Best Animated Film and much more. A Silent Voice has also won awards such as the Japan Academy Prize as well as the Asia Pacific Screen Award. Inside Out has also been a bridge to help children. An article on Mindsum states, Inside Out, being a film aimed at children, is a brilliant tool in helping children of all ages start to talk about their feelings and emotions. In fact, many mental health professionals now use this film as a tool for starting these conversations. While A Silent Voice explores and raises awareness on many things, as per Naoko Yamada's vision for the film, she states, I also talk about the world surrounding them as a realm where you can only reach after going back and forth between darkness and light. The world as a profound and gentle place that accepts everything. This is what I really wanted to express in this film.